when I saw this poll come out last night, and it does continue, this is a trend, his approval ratings continue to decline. A lot of it had to do with Afghanistan withdrawal. But here's the kicker about it. Now, the pandemic's involved with these numbers, Wendy.
That's true, and had you asked 2 weeks ago, in a word, Afghanistan, that would have been the answer to the declining numbers. But one wonders whether he tried to eclipse Afghanistan and the fallout with these new COVID regulations, which only, as you mentioned, serve to drive down his popularity even farther. Now, it's not as simple as people having objections to all of these vaccine requirements, and certainly far above and beyond what we envisioned last summer, but also that it's hypocritical because remember what he said just several months ago, that these are things he would never do. So there's a trust component involved as well, and often that results in lower numbers. Let's face it, we approve of those we trust, whether or not we're of the same political persuasion. And I think that probably has something to do with why those numbers are tanking even more than you would expect given the most recent regulations.
Yeah, definitely. The White House now has a new take on vaccine requirements in the workplace that they did not only a few months ago. I want to show you all a Quinnipiac poll. It shows that 65% of Americans disapprove of the way President Biden handled withdrawing all U.S. troops from Afghanistan. 31% approve. So Wendy kind of touched on the topic of COVID and how that's impacted polling right now. But John Thomas, Afghanistan also plays a big impact.
That's a huge deal. I mean, the stuff of presidents is typically foreign policy. COVID is this bizarre exception. And there's no question that the American people consider President Biden an abject failure on the issue of Afghanistan. And it continues to be a cluster. And they're penalizing him in polls. And furthermore, back quickly to the coronavirus, Emma, the Biden administration campaigns solely on put us in the White House, we're going to end COVID. It's just the person who's in the White House. That's what matters. And once we're there, we'll end it. And it hasn't ended. It continues to go on, and they restrict our freedoms. Across the board, the American people are not liking this administration. And I would be very careful if I were the Biden administration, because the voters are going to take out their anger and frustration at the midterm cycle.
Vic, that's a good point that John brings up there, and I'll have you touch on that, and also, again, the 44% approval rating, the lowest of his presidency in this recent polling.
Well, that's absolutely right. And, this lack of trust, which Wendy was so astute to point that out, she hit the nail on the head. It's not only Afghanistan and the failed withdrawal from the country. It's not only the response to COVID. It's not only the promise now to hike taxes amongst areas and demographics he promised he wouldn't, but it's a blanket umbrella loss of trust and credibility. And of course, that's going to hurt the Democratic Party when it comes to midterms next year. And this is the effect we see of presidential individuals, people who are past presidents and current presidents affecting the elections. For instance, here in California, Governor Newsom just defeated the recall attempt, and the entire campaign from the left was based on an anti-Trump platform. So presidents actually have a significant amount of effect even after office. Biden's effect while in office will definitely reap very little rewards for their party in midterms.
Well, keep in mind, this administration promised transparency, and yesterday, again, we saw the president address the nation and then walk away from the podium without taking any questions.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.